What's up, bookworms? Welcome to episode 144 of the Cantina Book Club podcast, where readers can find interviews with authors of all genres. I'm Megan, self-proclaimed Cantina Queen, here to bring you insights from the authors themselves. Each week features a Cantina conversation with an author. Sometimes they're returning guests, sometimes it's someone new. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on an episode, and feel free to browse through existing episodes to catch a previous interview about a book that you finished. Today's episode features a chat with Henry Corrigan talking about his book, Party of a Lifetime, that is available now. Fun, really fun conversation with Henry. We got off topic a little bit. He was very patient while I just had certain thoughts about certain things, and it was just really cool to talk to him about the crazy, wild ride that is his book. Some spoilers may or may not pop up in these conversations, but the episode is more enjoyable if you've read the book anyway. So if you don't know why I am feeling for a certain character or just wondering about them, hit pause, add this episode to your playlist, and go pick up a copy of Party of a Lifetime. The interview will be here when you're ready. Just a heads up that I often use adult language to express my feelings towards these authors and their work, whether the characters need to get their shit together or I am saying what the fuck to the author for making me feel things. Just please be mindful around listening ears. Books coming out this week, we've got Shaken to the Core by Dara Levon and The Treason of Magic by Melissa Marr. I have upcoming interviews with both of those authors, and so I'm really excited to get to read both of those books and then talk to the authors about it. And without further ado, get ready, grab your favorite drink. Here is Henry. So today we've got Henry Corrigan. We're talking about his book, Party of a Lifetime, that comes out on June 8th. Henry, thank you so much for joining me today. This book was very engaging. And so I'm going to preface this by saying, not in a bad way, I finished the book and I was like, what the fuck did I just read?
Good.
So I'm excited to get
That
into
makes
it
me
today.
so happy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's the vibe that I was going for. I wanted people to walk away and it's like, I have no idea what just happened right now. Yes. Okay, very cool.
I am looking forward to getting into it with you. Absolutely. So that being said, so to get started, can you share a summary of the book so that people
Absolutely.
can follow along?
Sure. So, Party of a Lifetime follows four queer friends. It centers on Becca Longford. She graduated high school. She's in a year into college. She's working on becoming a master mechanic, and she decides to reunite with her three best friends. One who is her former boyfriend, and the other is her current crush. And they try to reunite and have the prom that could have been, because the prom that they had went to hell in a handcart. And so they reunite to have the prom that could have been, but unfortunately they end up getting dragged down to a literal highway to hell, to a town that is called Monotony. It's a town hellish place that's full of, where the demons are legion, the devils are legion, but the worst monsters might just be themselves. So it's a hellish town growing out of the literal borders of hell, and it's has a negative adverse effect on all of the characters the longer they stay there. So it's very much about how life tends to be, or how people make life unfair, and how it doesn't need to be this hard. So if you've ever sat back and looked at the world and said, things shouldn't be this hard, people shouldn't be making it this hard for other people and for us, this is the book for you, and this is everything that I wanted to put into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we'll get into it because there's a lot to touch on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of places to explore and unpack. And it's just kind of like, you got to preface it by saying, like, you go there and they're descriptive. So I'm loving the opportunity to explore all this with your brain. Okay, to get started, this is not your debut, right? You have a couple books under your belt. So
That's right, yes.
I want to kind of like explore your background to how this book compares to other books that you've worked on, and maybe how did you approach it the same way? Any big lessons learned from this release versus other things in your past, stuff like that?
Yeah. This book is hands down one of my favorites because the characters are my favorites. As I've told friends and other authors, these are these characters are hands down my favorite people to torture. And because they are so much fun, and some of them are loosely based on some friends of mine. Some people, one is based off of someone I used to know who's unfortunately no longer with us. So I really wanted to showcase the power of friendship, but also the shifting changes in the dynamics of it. What it is that binds people together over the course of your life. My mother would say that of all the friends that you make, there's only a handful of people that stick with you for the long haul. I wanted to highlight the kind of people that stick with you for as however many years you end up going through together. And so yeah, this is actually my third published release. And it's very different. I didn't come out as bisexual until I was in my late 30s, until I was about 40 years old. So my first book was my first book, A Man in Pieces, dealt with a deeply closeted antagonist. I didn't really jump into queer horror until my second book, which was Somewhere Quiet, Full of Light. It made like the Bram Stoker Award reading list. It was named one of the best books of the year by Ginger.
Nice, congrats.
Thank you. I was very ecstatic over that. And I didn't jump into real queer horror until I really got into the nitty-gritty of that book. And going into this book, it was a lot more freeing. And I think it's because I had the experience of building from where I originally started with, where I had a very heteronormative main character in my first book, moving more towards openly gay characters in my second book, and now I'm trying to reach the gamut of everybody. Like my main character, Becca, she's bisexual. I have a Toby who is a drag queen. You have my Kyle, who is Becca's former boyfriend who recently came out of the closet and is now crushing on Toby. Becca is crushing on one of her closest friends, Gabby, who's a soccer star, more of the butch type, really. So I really wanted to open up more at the gamut of this, of sexuality and the queerness for it, and it's been very freeing. And
yeah, I bet.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I've been very happy with the characters themselves, with the story that I was able to tell, and I had originally planned for this to be a trilogy, the way that it had worked out, and I think it's going to be a continuing series. I see at least I see 4 books in my head.
I know. So. I was going to say, when I finished the ending, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Because I didn't know. I was not prepped that it was maybe going to be an ongoing thing. So but that's always how it happens, where it's like, oh, surprise, we're not done. Yeah. I want to touch on a couple of things that you said. I love that your journey and how kind of it coincided with your writing journey too. Like the more comfortable you felt with yourself as a person personally, the more you push those boundaries, the more you let that come out into your writing. Because I was gonna say, when you were describing it, I was like, yeah, you leveled up and so to speak, and then so your writing leveled up, and I think that's so cool. And like I said, I've interviewed several people from that community, from your community, and it's kind of like, I don't know if it's maybe not a good thing to say, but I'm like, I don't give a shit, but I do give a shit. It's I give a shit to how that portrays into your art, into your work. But it's I'm not going to worry what if you're gay, straight, bisexual, trans. I'm not going to worry about that if you're approaching me with hey, you have space? Can you read my book? Can we talk about it? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's I'm open. But I love reading stories that I'm not familiar with, that are not familiar with my own life. And that goes with AAPI people, writers of color, that goes with almost any sort of community where it doesn't have to do with, because I'm half Mexican, but that's about it, where I'm it's other cis white woman approaching 40, you know what I mean? That's what my little bubble of the world is. And so I love reading so much, and I appreciate reading reading works from people from different communities, because it helps you get that little extra level of intimacy. And just talking to you now, it helps to gauge your journey as you're coming to this conversation of that's why I love to get the background. That's why I love to see get a little snapshot of your journey to see where this is in your work, in your big picture. So no, that's great. And I love it. And that's so funny, because I'm
the way I saw it, it was just like it was just who they were. The story was how are the fuck are they going to get out of this situation? And it when it looked so hopeless, and I just remember being like, how are they not more horrified right now? How are they not freaking out more? I'm like, why are they still getting drunk? Although in retrospect, I might be right there with them. But I was like, wait a second, why are they still like, oh, fuck it, we'll just like be in this like broken down house with cookie cutter and somebody just like a bunch of people just try to kill us. But and
Mm-hmm.
then we'll just like, great, where's the cooler? Let's get some
Yes.
beers. So that's like really what it was. But like, I love that you explored the queer horror. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's so fun. I think that's so
Thank you.
fun because it's also
Thank
like
you.
I've been stepping my toe into the what do they call it, thromance, like thriller romance,
Mm.
like because it could
Mm-hmm.
be campy or it depends on where you go with it, right? It's like
Yeah.
it depends on the vibe, the tone, and so it's like the world is your oyster, and I didn't know that I would like suspenseful or a thriller romance with like straight up like open door sex scenes on the page. But it like I God, what is it? I forget what the author's name was, but I read two books by her and I really liked it. I was surprised, but they did it. She did it really well, and so it was like yeah, it was like a campy thriller. But
Mm.
it was definitely also a love story. And so that's why like I was like, oh, okay, I could dig this. I could dig this for sure. So yeah, I think that's so exciting that you found a way to just figure it out and
Yeah.
find a way to like merge and to make it like there's some like coming of age, there's some slow burn and crushing, but then that's also
Mm-hmm.
like
Horror and
this is
gore. Yeah.
fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I first of all, I want to thank you because of the what you had said before about the way that you read, and I wish more people did. I want to. I definitely need to branch out more. I need to read more. Um, I need to read more by books by authors of color. I need to read more widely in terms of other experiences that people have had, because it's and I wish that I want to do that, and I know I wish more people did as well, because it's the way that you should be able to read, or at least that's the idea, is you want to be able to get not just a feel for your own experiences, it's a way of getting experiences or perspectives that you would have no other way of being able to
Right.
access.
Yes.
And you can end up with an incredible amount of empathy from being able to connect with characters or with lifestyles or with
Yeah.
people from around the world that you have no other way of being able to connect with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for me personally, I for this book, I got a review from a wonderful gentleman earlier this morning actually, and he said that the characters are drawn so well, are written so well, that while there is, and they're so likable, that while there is like the gore and the horror that's in it, he's like, I can see young adult people wanting to, or like upper young adult books, or this fitting into upper young adult forms as well, which is wonderful
Or like
because
new adult, like
yes, exactly,
because yeah, the
yes.
characters are like 20-ish, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah.
they're like 19 or 20, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Yeah, so they're like a year out of high school.
Yeah.
And so they're still trying to figure themselves out. They're still trying to dig through they're still trying to dig through all the drama and trauma of high school, their own family upbringings, and they're trying to also deal with the fact that they're now adults, all off on their own. So they've got to slap it together the way that all of us had to do it. So
And how
it's a
did we
lot.
all deal with it? I didn't feel like an adult at 19 or
No,
20. Like
absolutely
I was
not.
still
No.
like, "Oh, tell me like, wait a second. I don't know how to do this." Like I
Yes,
don't
yeah. When I first got to no, when I went back to college, when I went to my, you had mentioned that you work for a
community
let me see,
college.
a community
Yeah.
college now. That was when I decided to go back to college because I was not in the right frame of mind for college when I first graduated high school. When I went initially into college, I was not in the right frame of mind. I was not the right person to be able to do it at the time. When I went back, I did community college first to be able to build myself up and get like a good foundation underneath. When I went to university afterwards, I felt like I got thrown to the wolves.
Mm.
There was like guidance counselors, professors, the administration. No one had, and it wasn't just simply that they weren't unhelpful, and like they didn't know how to help at all.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's one thing when you don't know the answers to something. It's something else entirely when you don't know what questions to ask.
Oh, yes, that is such a perfect way of putting it because I feel like I went to university like immediately and in retrospect I'm like, yeah, I could have saved some money because I'm like Well,
Me
I
too.
ended up,
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted to do, but then I ended up changing majors anyway. So it was like, but yeah, in retrospect, I could have like bounced around because the way I did it was like I learned something and I started working somewhere. But then the more I progressed in my career, I wanted to keep learning. So I went back to school, I went back to this, I went back to that to make myself more employable, to learn more skills and just to keep up. Just to keep
Hmm.
up with like the changing world because a lot of my job started out in internet digital and it's been
Hmm.
changing ever since. Like I graduated with my bachelor's in 2009, which was the whole recession, so that was a whole different thing.
Wow.
And like I'm a straight up older millennial, so that's why I was like, we
Hmm.
were like any kind of meme you could think of, like yeah, I relate to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
but you're absolutely right where it's kind of like I love that phrasing where you're like, you didn't even know what you should know. You didn't
Yeah.
even know what to ask. Cause like
Yeah.
having the strength and the confidence to ask anything of
Hmm.
anyone, like to
Yeah.
find the person and to ask and to keep you like feeling comfortable to ask questions at that age. Like I'm approaching 40. I'm like, I'll ask questions. I'll act like a dumb shit. I don't care. But like at 20,
Yeah.
you're like, oh God, I'm like
No,
supposed to.
it's so much harder.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll never forget. And the having the putting yourself out there, trying to do different things and getting awkward and stuff like that, it's difficult. And then it's also when you try and you get let down repeatedly. Like I remember going to university and I was working towards, for my bachelor's, I was working towards a degree in sociology. I went to the guidance counselors for sociology department because I was working in a hospital at the time. That
Mm.
was where I started my
What were you
federal
doing?
career. I was part of the blood lab, so I was doing
Oh,
I
okay. Like what, phlebotomy
yeah,
or
phlebotomy. I
okay,
wasn't
okay,
doing it itself, but I was putting together the orders for all of the blood work that needed to
okay.
be done, the orders for any screenings or any testings that needed to be done. I was typing up autopsy reports and stuff like that. I
Oh
learned, yeah,
shit.
yeah. I ended up typing death certificates more than a number of times. So
Oh,
working in the
how old were
morgue,
you?
I was in my early 20s.
Oh,
So
yikes.
yeah,
That's a rude
it
awakening
was
if there
actually
wasn't.
yeah, it was definitely eye opening, but I
Oh,
really appreciated it, and it was
oh,
definitely something that
sure.
I really appreciated. But I remember when I was hoping to move something towards like hospital administration at the time. And so I went to the guidance counselors for the sociology department and for the junior, or either junior or senior like level of the school. And I
Okay.
said, I'm thinking about getting a degree in I really like sociology. I'm working in hospital administration. I really want to see about what I can do, what avenue it is that I can do to
Sure.
get towards that.
Right.
And both and I said, can you tell me how do I do that? Both guidance counselors looked at me and said, I don't know. I don't know. Here are some pamphlets. You go figure it out. So
And what, you don't have to out the school, but you were in what, Maryland or
no, I was in New York. This was Long Island. Yeah. So.
all
Excuse
right,
me.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The universe said no, figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. That
Basically.
sucks. That
So
sucks
I
because
know. Yeah.
I felt like even my first day, like I went to NIU, Northern Illinois University, but when I went, like even my first day, they like, no, here we're gonna sit down and set you up with your schedule for the first year, and it was so helpful because even
Yeah.
then, like the representatives who were there sitting with you, at least the guy I got, he was had such good energy and he was so
Hmm.
cheerful and positive. He just like put me at ease and got me a little bit more of the attitude of like, oh no, this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be cool. This is like,
Yeah.
even then it was like, but I guess I was at the point where I was only like 45 minutes from home at my
Hmm.
college, and also
That was about where I
I knew a hand.
was from my university. Yeah. So I was about
Yeah,
45
great.
minutes from it. So yeah.
So it's just like, and then I went a handful of people. I knew a handful of people already who, and then one of my best friends who I knew was going to the same school, but it was like, it was one of those things where I got into a relationship right away. So I didn't hang out with him until we broke up. But he was like my saving grace when we broke up because it was such a fucking huge thing. It impacted me so much. And I'm like, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have my bestie there, like my hometown bestie, because
Yeah.
I had someone to hang out with to get me away from everything I knew for like the past 8 months or 10 months. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So I totally respect and appreciate what you had to go through because that sucks. I feel like that's so hard. That is
Yeah.
so hard. Like,
Yeah.
you
When
know,
it
nine
totally
nine
means a
little
lot.
baby
Yeah.
Henry being like, wait, what am I supposed to do? What do I do? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Little baby Megan would have been like, don't ask me. Like, what?
Yeah. You end up making a lot of mistakes and racking up a lot of student loans.
Oh
And but
God.
yeah. But and that's I wanted to hit on that, is the fact that there's no reason why, like I said
As your
before,
character
in my
Becca, she
spiel.
does. She kind of
Yeah.
starts. We get the gist that, oh God, she's already got a big thing to worry about.
Exactly. Yes. So she's already, like, she's working towards her degree, and she's already got like such debt that she's racked up just from doing things. And it's the feeling that you've been left to your own, like, abandoned isn't quite the right word, but it's close. Saying that you've been just left to flounder and try to figure it out. And that's not the way that you should be handled. Just because you are technically like the age of an adult doesn't mean that you don't need some kind of support system.
Yeah,
Adults need support
it's,
systems as well.
because then you think
Yeah.
of it like generations before, like, oh, depending on the time period, when you turned 18, 19, you were either expected to like, well, either go to war or go to like get a
Hmm.
job and then start a family. And
Yeah.
obviously it's different for men and women, but
Yeah.
like even you as like a bi person
Mm.
who it was like that was a whole nother thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine you being born 50, 70 years ago, right?
Oh
Like,
Lord. Yeah.
yeah,
That
sounds
my
horrible. Like,
It does, yes. But it does. But I was actually thinking about this earlier. Is that while I was driving home, is my mother, and my mother-in-law. When my daughter's 8 years old, and when
God,
my daughter
my
was
son's there too. It's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When my daughter was born, both of my mothers, my mother-in-law and everybody, they said that when we were born, when I was born, when my wife was born, our generation would give them printed out like sheet, like basically like a pamphlet of all of the foods that were okay for us to eat and when to like introduce them and stuff like that. We didn't get any of that when my daughter was born. We got nothing. So
I don't
it
think,
wasn't.
yeah, I think there was like a bunch of pamphlets, but at the time I was like, I don't, just put it in the folder, just put it in the box, just put it in, yeah.
We didn't get anything from our doctor. 2 months
New
later, when
York?
we brought her, New York, yeah, when we brought my daughter in for her 2 month checkup, the doctor looked at us and said, "She should be able to lift her head. She should be able to lift her own head by now." It's like, should she? What? Yeah, really? Are you? You're expecting me to know something that I have no real way of knowing. That
Yeah,
you
like I
have
didn't know I
taught
had to
me.
worry about this. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
focus on this.
Exactly. Like, you didn't teach me this. You didn't talk to me about this. There's no literature lying around about any of this. You just expected that I just knew,
Yeah.
which is worse than unhelpful. So,
I no,
yeah.
absolutely. I know. Like when the first one with my son, it was I don't know. I live my life like unbothered and I go with the flow. And my son, he was a week late and I had to be induced and like we had to kick him out. That's what we joke about. Like he
Mm-hmm,
was too comfortable in there for him. He wanted to stay.
mm-hmm.
We had to kick him out.
Yeah.
And even then, like he was huge. He was like 9 pounds 11 ounces, but I
Ooh,
still
yeah,
pushed
a
him
big
out in
boy.
like 30 minutes because I was crazy. I went full force. I didn't want to spend 4 hours pushing, so
Uh,
I didn't even think about like all the implications of the like because eventually like because he had to spend a few days in the NICU because his respiratory rate was high because what happened was I guess like when they're in the canal it gives them a chance to squeeze out the liquid and then
mm-hmm,
where their lungs get used to breathing air versus breathing liquid. So,
mm-hmm,
but like because I pushed him out so fast, his lungs didn't do that, or at least that's the theory. The respiratory rate was high, and the nurse was like, "We're just doing this to be like a safeguard." And then the doctor in there, he was like, "He's eating like a pig. He'll be fine. We just need him to get to a certain point, and then you
yeah.
guys can go." And so it was like, oh, one like just
I want to keep you guessing and a little bit horrified as much as I possibly can with this
well,
because
mission
more than anything,
accomplished.
yeah, more than anything, this is about how lives and friendships change, how they can get broken, how they can maybe be mended, how things change over time, and how we change over time by our and also by the decisions that we make. So the book number 2 is about the aftermath and the illness that is still with them, because they've had time to be able to think about this, and it's like, and everything, all the trauma that they've lived through is like an illness that they still haven't recovered
Yeah,
from.
I that's what I'm thinking. Like, there's so much you could do with the aftermath. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
just
and it's about them going out for revenge, trying to, if they can,
and like,
save
oh,
Kai, get
does
revenge, get
Toby want to go
everything. Yeah,
for revenge? Does
yeah,
Gabby want to go for revenge? Becca, we know she wants to go for revenge, but then
yeah,
like, how is that going to happen between the three of them? And it's
yeah,
just like, Kyle, like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, I'm still like, I'm just gonna hang up on Kyle. I'm just gonna be hung
yeah.
up on Kyle.
Oh, I
That's
get
what
it.
I'm
I get it. Yeah,
like.
that's my thing. Is the stories? If you stories, or especially in trauma and stuff like that, they have to hurt because they do in real life, and that's the thing. Like, I remember reading Joe Hill's comic book series, the Lock and Key series, the graphic novels and everything. And
Yeah, and that was made into, I think, Netflix,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
yep, yep.
I absolutely loved it, but I had a bone to pick with the end of the series because all of the characters, the main family characters who start the series, with all the kids and everybody like that, I don't mean to give too many spoilers away or anything like that, but they make it all the way to the end. Like, the mother lives, all the other kids and everything like that. There's some harrowing times in the middle, but they make it to the very end. And that was my biggest bone to pick, is because it felt like the book didn't hurt enough with everything that they had been through. So everybody loves a happy ending. I'm of a mind that I love a happy ending. And I have some in some of my stories and stuff like that. But I'm of a mind that, you know, that old phrase of the person who beat 1,000 to 1 odds, the hero's journey, the person who climbed the mountain, beat the army, all these different things. 1,000 to 1 odds means there's 999 people who didn't make it, who tried and failed, and you don't know their names. And that's the pain. That's the bleakness. You have to turn and acknowledge this, because hero's journey is wonderful. There's a reason it's lasted this long, but you have to turn and acknowledge the people who didn't make it, who might have left like breadcrumbs or trails or whatever for that one hero to be able to follow,
Right.
or build on, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Stories, some stories, not all, but some stories, they should hurt by the end.
I agree with you, even though I don't like it. I know there have been books where I'm like talking to the authors, and when they explain things, and I'm like, fine. I'm like, fine. Like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of how I'm feeling with you. I'm like, I get it, but
Yeah.
fine. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm gonna keep picking my bones until you put number 2 out.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Henry Corrigan, where can we find you online and on social media?
Online, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram way too much. Facebook as well. I'm on most of the social media channels that you can name, so you can find me pretty easily. I do not have a website. I have a blog that I touch.
Let me
every once in a blue
know.
moon.
I can build you a website, bruh.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Side note. Okay.
Yeah. You can find me on social media. You can find my publisher, Byzantium Sky Press. You can purchase the book directly through my publisher. You can get personalized signed copies through my publisher. You can get ebooks through them. Let me see. It's available on Kobo. It is on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. The proof copy should be coming soon.
But it comes out on June 8th, correct?
June 8th. Yeah,
Yep.
It comes out on
Pre-order.
June 8th. Yes. My pre-orders are available right now, and my first book launch for this is on June 11th. It'll be at Huxley and Hero booksellers in Wilmington, Delaware, and I'm absolutely thrilled, and I'm looking forward
I'm
to it.
excited for you. Are you
Donuts.
ever gonna? I'm guessing maybe you don't have any plans to explore not the East Coast. Like, if you find your way out near Chicago, let me know, because I will be there. Bells on.
Thank you.
Like...
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, I would love to. Right now, I'm pushing and driving and going through Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all these things. I was hoping to be able to get up to New York for something, because, again, I'm from New York.
Really, you want to go back to New York after all that bullshit?
I know.
You're like,
But,
I need to do it.
I know, but there's so many things that I've been trying to do and try to expand, yeah, and get as much farther as I can. And excuse me, and I've been pushing for independent bookshops, independent
No, good for
publishers.
you. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, independent bookshops, independent publishers right now as much as I possibly can, because the Amazon, draft to digital, and all of these things are just cutting so much and hurting independent authors so much that if I can push or get connected with the indies as much as I can, like I found bookshop.org, which is a wonderful website. It's basically like if you are tired of Amazon, if you really want to help the independent bookshops and independent authors as much as you can, go to bookshop.org. You can order ebooks, you can order print books, and you can designate what independent shop you want them to go through. And
Yeah,
a
I love
portion of
bookshop.org.
exactly, yeah, and a
Where yeah,
portion.
they are in tune with the libraries or
Exactly.
bookstores. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So anything that I can do to push for independence, connected with independence, I want to do that, because the indies are where I got my start. They've pushed me this far, and I want to keep pushing as many people as I can because they deserve it.
Keep pushing them.
Yeah.
Just yeah, just make like you're doing really well, and I love
Thank you.
that mentality. I love that
Thank you.
mentality of like just keeping the original in mind.
Yeah.
Like that's so important. I love that.
Yeah. I'm editing right now a queer slasher novella that is going to be part of a series, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm nearing the end of getting it done. It's been the bane of my existence for some time, but once I'm done with that, I'll move on to editing and editing for Party of a Lifetime 2, and I've got other things that other books and stories that I'm pushing for. I have a children's book, a queer children's book that I've been pushing for.
As long as it's not of the same caliber. Otherwise, I would be like, Henry, where do you get off? Like,
No, I've been trying to get into
well, you only
children's
have
books
the
as much as I
one. You
can.
only have the one girl, like the.
Yes, my daughter.
Okay, and you
Yeah.
guys just didn't care about having another one, or like you had one and you were
Yeah.
like, we're good. Like,
No, we did try, and there was a whole
oh,
thing
okay.
behind
I'm
this as
sorry. I
well.
didn't mean
So
to.
no,
Yeah.
it's okay. We did try. We were hoping for two. We're happy with one because it's the honestly, I don't know if we would have been able to afford two. Honestly, that would be perfectly frank.
I know.
And yeah,
I know,
there
boy.
were
I know,
yeah,
brother.
and there's a lot, and there's more. There's back history. There's medical things and all kinds of things that go into it. But no,
That's what I was saying. Like, our bodies are crazy,
yeah,
and
they
a
are.
child, I
Yeah,
didn't realize how much of a it really is a miracle.
yeah,
I thought it was like a whole religious thing, like, and I'm not a fan of. That's a whole nother conversation.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of institutionalized religion, but if you
I
want
would
to go
totally.
there, it really, yeah, it
Yeah.
really is a miracle how our bodies can make things happen,
Yeah,
right?
I would
Like,
love to talk religion with you
yes,
someday.
there
So
we go.
I've, yeah,
I was raised Catholic, like
same.
Mexican,
Yes.
Irish Mexican. I was raised
Mm-hmm.
Catholic, and I'm like, I don't like that it's so patriarchal. Like, I
Yeah.
do not, where it's like, oh, man answers to God, and then the woman and the children answer to the man who answers to God.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, just because you were born with a penis,
Yeah.
just because you
Yeah.
were born
No.
with a
It's
penis, you're in charge. Fuck that. I subscribe
no.
to that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's another like maybe we need to do a virtual happy hour or something.
That would be fun. Yeah. I would love that. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Henry Corrigan, Party of a Lifetime. I recommend this to people who are, I don't know, just not afraid to go there.
Yeah.
Not afraid to go
Thank you.
there. And then thank you so much for your answers, your vulnerability, your openness. And
Thank you.
like I said, if and when you're ready to go there to talk about your next work, let me know.
Yeah.
Love to
I
chat
will.
again.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. Thank you.
And there you go. That was Henry Corrigan talking about his book, Party of a Lifetime. That book is available now. Check out the show notes to see links where you can find Henry online and on social media and where you can purchase the book. In the show notes, you'll also see where to find Cantina Book Club on your favorite social media sites, such as Bookstagram, BookTok, BookTube, Threads, Facebook, and more. And I would love and appreciate it while you're at it if you could hit that follow or subscribe button so that you never miss out on book reviews and other interviews. If you have any book-loving friends who might want to get more out of their reading lists, please share Cantina Book Club with them so that they can find upcoming releases and interviews with authors. Another way to help this podcast is to head over to your favorite podcast player and give Cantina Book Club a rating and a review. It helps me reach more potential listeners and fellow book lovers like you. And that goes for any podcast that you listen to. It's one of the easiest things that you could do to help out. If you need book recommendations, you can reach out to me. I'm always excited to share suggestions, or you could head on over to the website, cantinabookclub.com, and find the search bar and just search to your heart's content. I check out all genres, so you'll probably find something that you're looking for. And also, while you're at it, you could subscribe by entering your email in the box on the website so that you could get book reviews and episode posts delivered directly to your email. If you want to support Cantina Book Club even more, you could donate by finding the form online on the website. Whether it's a one-time donation or as little as $1 a month, I seriously appreciate the support and will share my appreciation by giving you a shout out in the show and a little special something. And finally, one of the best ways to help authors promote their works is to head over to Amazon or Goodreads or Storygraph. Wherever you look for reviews, go on there and give a title that you've just fell in love with, and give them a rating and review. It's super easy, and it really helps them expand their outreach to reach more readers. Thanks so much for listening, and see you next time. Cheers.